And there's our winner. Well, John, at 189 pounds, we're starting to get into the bigger wrestlers. We've got Dave Geiger of Mason. He's a sophomore. No, pardon me, he's a junior. He also participates in martial arts, he says, and he wants to be a police officer someday.
Well, he's got some aspirations there, and he's up against a tough candidate from Roger Bacon again. And we've seen quite a number of those wrestlers. And this young man's name is Dave Freson. And he's out there. He has an 18-4 record, so he appears to be a very tough opponent.
Wow, well, Geiger's got Freson on his back in a hurry with a takedown. No back points are scored. These guys are really moving at it.
They are. And I guess I'm looking at our record up there for Dave Geiger, and maybe you can help us out on that, Jim.
Well, right now, I think he's 1-1.
Okay, so it would appear that he has some history of moving between weights.
Probably.
Whereas Dave Freson here has wrestled pretty much his entire season, an 18-4 record at the 189-pound weight class.
Well, Freson got the escape, and the score's now 2-1. Geiger of Mason did not get the takedown there as they went out of bounds. They're coming back to the center of the mat. The official, Mr. Lowenstein, starts them back up. They're working in on each other. You know, there's going to be a lot of action, I think, in this period, John. The first 13 seconds said a lot.
Sure did, Jim. And we've got, again, Geiger has got the leg there of his opponent, Dave Freson, or Freson, I should say. And it appears so far that Dave Geiger has been the aggressor, and he's been very successful at it.
Yeah, he's been in on him, and he keeps that up. We talked about that first takedown. Of course, Geiger got it, but I think the real indicator of who ends up winning this match, or any match, is the guy that is the aggressor. Freson of Roger Bacon just got warned for stalling. We've got 50 seconds left in this first period. Geiger of Mason on top by 1.
Hot dogs brought 2 minutes, 50 cents a pop.
Well, he had a fireman, so they throw the leg there and they're back out.
That's a good shot of Coach Dan Starkey and Kent Smith, the Roger Bacon coaches. Kent Smith, formerly a Coleraine wrestling coach. Kent stepped down from that position, as did Terry Bonner, who retired last year. Kent moved over to the Roger Bacon program, and I know Coach Starkey's thrilled with him, just from Kent's attitude that he has shown in all the years at Coleraine.
Jim, obviously, he's having an impact on the program also. They've fielded quite a number of wrestlers here, and I think their score is indicative of just the quality of the program.
Yeah, Dan does a great job at Roger Bacon. There's no doubt about it. Dan's also involved locally in a big way. Okay, the Roger Bacon wrestler now gets hit with a 1.4 stalling. It was warned earlier. And essentially what that was, John, is really, I don't think Freson is stalling near as much as Geiger's just taking the match to him. And every time Geiger does that and Freson steps backwards, really he forces the official to warn him, because in the rules it states you have to constantly be moving forward. Well, for Freson, that means butting heads with Geiger as he's moving forward in a hurry.
Yeah, and Geiger appears to have a pretty strong physique. I wouldn't want to have to be pushing him around the mat.
Yeah, he is. He's strong. He's pretty strong. They tried to drag by to a single leg snatch. Didn't work. A little too close to the out of bounds line. We're in the second period here. Geiger of Mason with a 3-1 advantage over Dave Freson of Roger Bacon. Well, there's a mistake. You know, Geiger got a little too aggressive, lost his composure. His head went down, and Freson capitalized on it. And now we've got a 3-3 score. You can see Coach Keaton's enthusiasm regarding that last takedown attempt by Dave Geiger.
Well, the coaches, I guess the hardest part about being a coach here is have to sit in the sidelines and watch it happen out there. And you know there's champion at the bit ready to jump in there.
Oh, yeah. It's tough. I tell you, I've been in that seat, and I can tell you it is tough to sit there. It's tough for a former wrestler to, that's the biggest hurdle there is, I think, in going from wrestling to coaching wrestling.
So you might recall your older brother there when you used to wrestle. They used to have to put him outside the gymnasium during your wrestling match. He was just too involved.
Yeah, he was. You know, it's interesting. You know, you saw that, but I never did.
No, you probably didn't remember a thing about it.
Well, you know, you're in the match, you're psyched up. You just, you know, these wrestlers, for as much as as close as the coaches are to them, they rarely hear their coaches. You know, that's a different world. They're in a world out there.
Yeah, you're out in the mat, you're by yourself, and time just seems to stop there, and it seems like you're out there for an eternity.
Nice. Well, Geiger hits him with a fireman's carry, and it was real pretty. At that point, it might have been a high crotch. You might have called that a high crotch, but firemen's are high crotch. He hit it real nice and scored 2 takedowns. He's now up 6-3 over Dave Freson of Roger Bacon. We're just a little over 30 seconds to go in the second period.
And we're off the match again here. We're off the edge of the mat, we should say, and the match has come to a stop temporarily.
You know, it's interesting. Tim brought it up a little bit earlier. Tim has only brought, I believe he said, 6 of his starters here, and he's got another 8 of his starters at another tournament, Milford's tournament this weekend. That's what's kind of special about this, is he's able, the good point I'm trying to bring up is that Coach Keaton has worked hard enough and is willing to do this so that more of his wrestlers get varsity competition. And it's going to pay off in the long run, John. You know, the wrestlers that are here tonight that normally don't start from Mason are getting great exposure. The younger ones, they're going to come in next year having had varsity exposure.
Absolutely, and the quality of their performance will just go up. It's a whole new ball game out there, and experience more than anything else in this sport is it's just you can't have too much of it.
No, making it to the finals of any tournament for the first time, it's a big step.
It was an unusual tactic there. I think he let his opponent up only to stay with him, and that's the first time I believe we've seen that this evening. 5 seconds elapsed here. We're into the third period. Score of 6-3. And we're getting ready to start again. And Roger Bacon has just scored an escape, and Dave Freson is now down 6-4 to his opponent, Dave Geiger from William Mason. And we're moving along here, coming up on 1:30 seconds.
You know, a little earlier, John, I think I told the audience that Jeff Kelly was a state champ. I think I'm wrong in that. I think our state champ, the former returning state champ here, is Ron Troyon, the heavyweight from Loveland High School. I'd like to be able to verify that, because I'd hate to not mention that, if it is indeed true, to fail to mention that.
Coming up on a minute here. For those of you who just joined us, this is the 189-pound weight class, featuring wrestlers from Roger Bacon and William Mason. And this is the 1996 Finnytown Invitational Tournament. We're in the final rounds, and we have a good match going here tonight. And we have a point awarded to the green for red stall. And Dave Geiger picks up a point over his opponent. The score is now 7-4.
Well, we're coming down into the last half of the third period. Uh-oh. Now there's a mistake on Geiger's part. It would be a real shame if he were to lose this match this way. But I think we may see it happen, John.
Yeah,
he's in real trouble.
We're close to a fall here, Jim. You can see his shoulder, and there's not much height there.
Oh, he's going to be kicking himself all year long.
Yeah, that's a hard way to go, but he definitely overextended and slipped, and his opponent's taking advantage. Dave Freson here seems to have benefited immensely there. Now 9-7. We took a hard hit there. Both wrestlers appeared to pause momentarily. Dave Geiger's found himself in trouble again here, and Dave Freson has him down, and that was a nice move to trip the opponent there, Jim.
Well, as unlikely as it seems, Dave Freson of Roger Bacon, with really just less than 15-20 seconds left in the third period, snatched a win away from Dave Geiger of Mason. Our champion is Dave Freson of Roger Bacon, as he scores 2 sets of near falls and reversals right at the end.
Yeah, and Jim, we don't want to take anything away from Dave Geiger, but Dave Freson definitely earned some of those points there, so not the slip alone caused that.
Oh, no.
Very good wrestling from both young men.
You bet it was. You know, I did want to go ahead and mention that a little earlier we talked about state champions. There have actually been 5 state champions that have wrestled in this tournament. Jeff Kelly of Harrison, Ron Troyon of Loveland, Steve Hansen of Loveland, and Craig Keller of Finnytown. I believe 3 of them are here tonight.
We had an introduction of some of the previous wrestlers.